Now, we talk about this guy on the show a lot. I commend some things that he does. I really don't have a problem with him a lot of the time. But in this case, I think we do need to point out where he's wrong. This is our New Jersey governor, Chris Christie, of course, the Republican. I mean, he's done a lot of good things as a Republican, which I respect. But in this case, he announced that, of course, there was the passing of Senator Frank Lautenberg, who was the New Jersey Democratic senator. And in order to fill that spot, Chris Christie is hosting a special election that is going to take place on October 16th, which is only 3 weeks before the state's general election and his own re-election. Now, what this special election is going to do, and the reason it's so crazy, is New Jersey is a pretty cash-strapped state, and this election is going to cost an additional $12 million. And what could that $12 million do, Chris Christie? You could spend $11.7 million on women's clinics, childcare, and nurses. You could spend $12 million restoring 80% of the cuts that have been handed down to the state's nursing home. Or why don't you spend $12 million on 2 months of food bank and soup kitchen assistance for those areas affected by Hurricane Sandy? I don't think it's worth it to just not... Why don't you just wait 3 weeks and have it with everyone else? Richard, what do you think about this one? Is Chris Christie in the right here, or is he in the wrong?
So I've taken to Twitter on this one before, to Twitter, and I think I'll piss off some progressives and I'll piss off some conservatives, but I actually think, honest and truthfully, and I only can be true and real and honest, and I think any logical person think this. I think Chris Christie politically made the right decision.
Well, I mean, he wouldn't be spending the money if it wasn't for a political decision, right?
Well, let me explain. So, Chris Christie has been smart in that one, he's really good at being a moving target. So even though he's a big man, he's a moving target in this particular situation. Because if he waited until 2015 to fill the seat when it's up, or 1 year when the seat is up, on the 2014 election, excuse me, I've got my years confused. Then he would have to fill it with somebody, and if he was forced to fill it with somebody or have a replacement, conservatives want him to pick somebody from the far, far, far right. So because he knows he's not going to pick somebody from the far, far right to fill that seat, and he doesn't want to piss off his conservative flank of his party, he said, I'm not going to fill it, I'm going to leave it vacant. But I also understand that if I do it in November, I put Cory Booker, popular Newark mayor, and myself on the same ballot. And putting them on the same ballot could harm my chances of re-election. So what I will do is leave the seat vacant. I will have an October special election where the people can decide, and also that election is going to be, since it's not on, and it's not on a Tuesday, it's on a Wednesday, so it's possible it could be a low turnout election. Cory Booker will probably get the seat, and I'll be reelected governor, and the world will go back to normal. That's how I see it. I think that's how it works. I understand it costs the people $12 million, but politically, it's a good decision. And I think and with that being said, progressives, I'm talking to y'all, if it was Governor Corzine and there was a Republican governor a Republican senator in that seat, or even whether it was or wasn't, if it was Governor Corzine and he was on the ballot and we had to figure this whole thing out, I guarantee we'd have probably made the same decision.
Yeah, no one's accusing Chris Christie of not being a crass politician. But when you look at the social costs, they're $12 million.
I'm talking about the sheer politics.
Absolutely, and I agree with you completely. And I do respect smart political moves.